Hey, are you pointing at me? Watch this. 12 gestures that can make you less attractive. Long before we had nice clothes to impress others, and even before we had spoken communication to convince people to like us, there was body language. This instinctual nonverbal messenger is still the main factor that influences how others perceive us. So, here's a quick guide to some gestures you should avoid if you want people to like you. And a bit later, we'll give you a couple of tips on how to always give a good first impression. Counting down from number 12. Gripping your arm behind your back. When you grip your wrist or forearm behind your back, it sends a strong negative signal to those around you. This is mostly because we stand like this when we're moody or ticked off. And the higher you grab your arm, the angrier you seem to people. Number 11. Crossing your ankles. Standing with your ankles crossed shows you don't completely believe in the things you're saying. If you also have your hands in your pockets, I bet no one will take you seriously. Hiding your hands in your pockets means a lot of things, which is why it's important to interpret body language as a whole. But in most cases, people put their hands in their pockets when they're nervous. Number 10. Clasping your hands. Clasped hands resting on the table is a mini version of crossing your arms over your chest. But it means the same thing. I'm shutting myself off and I don't want to talk to you. Not a very nice message to send to others, right? Number 9. Elbows on the table and fingers laced together. My mom always said, "Get your elbows off the table," and she was right. Sitting with your fingers laced together and your hands raised off the table is a modification of the previous gesture. But be careful, this one is even worse. The higher you place your arms, the more you want to hide behind them. Number 8. Slouching. Bad posture isn't just harmful to your health. It also gives the impression that you feel helpless, unconfident, and miserable in life. The same goes for dragging your feet. Straighten your back, look ahead of you, and pick your feet up when you walk. These tips will improve your appearance even more than a new suit or a stunning dress. Number 7. Smirking. This closed-lip smile seems to be the go-to for most people. Perhaps it's with good intentions. Maybe you want to make people feel comfortable, so you decide to smile. But if it's not sincere, you just end up smirking, and people perceive such a tight-lipped smile as sarcasm and smugness. Number 6. A hand reaching towards the person you're talking to. Especially bad if there's a gun in it. Not many people recognize this sign, but you should still be careful if you have a habit of doing it. Sitting at a table and talking to a person with your hand extended out towards them can send an off-putting message. It basically tells your conversation partner that you want them to stop talking. Of course, this rule doesn't apply for situations when you want to hold the other person's hand. Aww. Number 5. Hands on your hips. Well, we usually take this stance simply because we don't know where to put our hands. It's still a pretty intimidating pose to see on a conversation partner. Standing with your hands on your hips says, "Well, what do you want to tell me?" I'll probably disagree anyway. Yeah, definitely not the most inviting message to send to someone. Number 4. A hitch-hiker's thumb. We've all seen this gesture in movies. But unless you're actually hitchhiking, which of course you should never do because it's dangerous, don't point your thumb behind you while talking to somebody. This gesture can often be regarded as a sign of disrespect. It makes you look arrogant and indifferent. Number 3. Clenched fists. Now, clenching your hands reveals hidden anger and fear. And the higher your fist is raised, the more tension it indicates. It almost looks like you're literally about to punch someone in the face, or you're ready to defend yourself. Whether it's true or not, this is the message people are getting. That's why fewer contracts are made with people who stand or sit like this during business negotiations. Number 2. A hand covering your mouth. You shouldn't cover your mouth with your hand when you talk, because the person you're speaking with might think that you're hiding something. Besides, we unconsciously touch our mouth when we're lying, and many people know this. Also, when you cover your mouth, it can be hard to understand what you're saying, and that's just annoying for everybody. Number 1. Shaking your finger at someone. We often use this gesture when we really want to convince someone of our point on a certain matter. But the effect turns out to be quite the opposite. Most people don't like to be scolded like a kid. And finally, as promised, here are some pointers that'll help you leave a good impression of yourself in every person you talk to. Smile sincerely. Don't force or fake it. We can feel when a smile is forced. So, if you want to generate a genuine smile, just bring to mind any happy moment from your life that makes you smile every time you think about it. Cheerfulness is contagious, and deep down, we all want to catch the bug. When you smile sincerely, people want to be around you. Eye contact is key. Eye contact should be the most important part of communication. It shows that you respect your conversation partner enough to pay attention to them. But there's a happy medium when it comes to how much contact you should maintain. If there's too little, you come off as rude. But if you stare the other person down too intensely, they'll most likely feel super uncomfortable. Or they might think you're trying to start a staring contest with them. If you tend to maintain too much eye contact, or you simply want to avoid doing so, try to fidget with something every once in a while. Maybe lint on your pants or something in your salad. Just don't overdo the fake distractions because you'll seem impolite. Tilt your head. Whenever you're talking to someone, slightly tilt your head to one side. From a strictly evolutionary stance, this gesture indicates vulnerability because it exposes one's carotid artery. Basically, a person has their guard down and doesn't plan to fight. And today, we still get this instinctual feeling that someone who's showing their vulnerability can't be a threat. And we're a lot more willing to talk to someone if we're not afraid of them. Plus, tilting your head makes you look softer and sympathetic and tells the person you're talking to that you're interested in the conversation and focused on them. And who wouldn't want to be the center of another person's attention? Use your brows. Just a quick movement of your eyebrows can be one of those nonverbal cues that you consciously or subconsciously use to show friendliness. Raise them when your conversation partner says something surprising. Lower them when they talk about something that's upsetting them. Just use your eyebrows to show that you're listening attentively. Mirror the person you're talking to. There have been a lot of cool psychological studies on this topic, but to keep it short, we copy people who we like, and we like people who copy us. This mimicking subconsciously makes us think that we have a lot in common with someone, so we can, therefore, be their friend. Just be sure to do it subtly. If your attempts to mirror the person you're talking to are too noticeable, well, they'll think you're just plain weird. Think Lucy and Harpo's mirror sketch from that old episode of I Love Lucy? Yeah, don't do that. To wrap it up here, you'll notice that a lot of these points have a common theme. Keep your body position open and show that you're paying attention to your conversation partner. If you follow this advice, people will be attracted to you. Plus, you'll also notice that it gives you a major boost in your self-confidence because the way we behave affects how we feel. So, do you pay attention to body language? Can you read and understand it? Tell us in the comments below. Share this video with anyone you know who has issues with their nonverbal communication. They'll definitely be grateful. And if you had a good time watching this video, press the like button. To keep up to date with all our new videos, subscribe to our channel and join us on the bright side of life.